Okay, hi guys. Gonna do a quick rookie walkthrough. I got a 16 and a 15 on my two baby accounts, so I'm gonna share that. These accounts really don't have many games played, just like 100 or maybe 200 games played. So the clubs aren't the best, but the notes are good. So let's take a look at hole number one. Now, on my first account, I played a big topper here. And on my first one, I played max topspin, and I went a touch too far into that far rough. So I took one topspin off here. Okay, and the other thing is you can aim a little bit to the right. You don't want to go into that left bunker. You're gonna fly over this corner, and you'll see here I hit great right, and still managed to, because the great right with the big topper, the lower levels are bad. It takes you way off. But you can see I easily bounce over this bunker. So better to aim a bit down the right side. Now you can see that's really pushing the limits too. So I would still take one topspin off, but just come a little back. So note at the end there, your next shot's going to be uphill. So I didn't even adjust that. I just moved it over, sort of aimed a little left of that right bunker and just flew it over. So now we'll look at shot number two. So on shot number two, I played a thorn, and I played it -5 because it's uphill and with the wind arrow. So if you don't play with the wind arrow, just note what I'm doing here and use your own adjustments. I play with the arrow. So shot number two here, you can see, so we were 3-5 with the wind arrow pretty straight up. And you can see I'm stretching out to see where I am. And so how I was stretching out to see where I was, and I'm bringing it back a bit. So I played from this distance, it was 368, mid with arrow, -5, which came out to this 1.4. So you can see me sort of moving it around to see, because I don't have much of a ball guide with the Thorn 4. So I'm about a good square to square and a half short there of the hole. And I'm going to pull here, you'll see 1.4. So see my bottom line on the white, and there's 1.4. And this is a pretty good shot. So I like this big topper shot because it gets you down there for the short iron, as opposed to hitting a Goliathan. So I think that's the way to play this hole. We'll move on to hole number two. Okay, so for hole number two, I'm playing the rough bump. You can play this with really any sniper, and it's just really about the spins if you have a lower level sniper without the good ball guide. So the way I'm playing this is with a Marlin. Okay, so I've got the power 0 ball in, I'm playing no elevation and just at the min number. So you'll see here, so we'll put the 3-5 in, which will be 2-6. Okay, and you can see that you have to play the power 0 ball to get into the sniper. You'll be in between clubs. So you can see me fooling around here with the spin because I'm trying to find where I can be. And what I end up doing is 2 left and about an 1/8 back. So just a smidge of back with 2 left. So I see that's where the funnel is. You can see I know the funnel is over on that side. So I want to be spinning it through the funnel. Okay, now see if it's an aggressive landing spot, but this is going to be the way to sink it. So you'll see here I pull 2-6. And that shot comes in real nice. So the important part, I think, is getting to the right part, because that's where the funnel is, and then playing your left spin from there, because the funnel is sort of on the right side of the landing area. Now on my next account, I hit great left, and I still managed to hit the rough and was close. Now you can tell where I line that up. A great right might be bad news. So if you don't feel comfy with that, you might want to find a bounce over shot. But I really think this is the best way to go after a hole-in-one. Okay, so for hole number 3, this is going to be an important hole. I albaed this on both my accounts, and they were exactly the same shots. So I'm going to show you how I'm playing the drive. Okay, so an extra mile, and I play with the arrow. Okay, so if you don't play with the arrow, watch my adjustment and then how you would do it. But I play mid with arrow here, so that would be around a 1.6. I'm playing with a katana. Okay, max topspin, max right spin. So just watch that. I'm playing mid with arrow, which is probably equal to like max without the arrow. But whatever, you just look at my numbers and then how you would play it. Just don't overplay it. So you can see I put a touch of right curl on there just in case I hit great left, that hopefully I would hang on to the fairway. Not sure I would or not, so you can tell it comes close there, right? But this is definitely the way to go after it because the second shot is really easy here. So you can mark that down, the 326. On my other account, I hit it 325. And, just not overplaying that, just max top, max right, no overpower. And we'll look at shot number 2. And shot number 2, I played the same on both. So I'm playing this in min with no elevation. So that's the way I played it from 325 and 326. And you'll see here, I sunk, this one has, because I had a sniper 6 and my other one was a sniper 5. So you can see here I played 3.5 topspin. With my sniper 5, I don't have that much. I only had 3 topspin, but I still managed to get there fine. So it's just in here finding the little, you'll see here I'm moving it around and I'm trying to find the squiggly area. And I end up going all the left spin but one, basically. And see there's the little area in there. That's the, you can see I'm moving the ball guide around it. It's really not moving much there. Okay, so just minimum sniper, no elevation. So I would have put the 4-5 in and whatever minimum was. And it's just about getting that, you get this nice soft roll and it just finds the funnel. The funnel is huge on here. So see how it just comes in slowly, and even if you were a tad offline, it's going to find that funnel. And anyway, hit it on both accounts. So this will be an important hole, just a great shot at an alpha here. Okay, so for hole number 4, the first time I played it max plus 20 in the same shot that I'm playing. And I came up a little to the side. So what I put down here is the adjustment I'm going to play is max plus 20 Goliath minus 0.2. So the first time I had gone a little right of the hole, so now I played it a little less adjustment so it would take it over to the left. So 3.5 would be the 1.8 minus 0.2 would be 1.6. So let's start over again because I got a bit ahead of myself here. So max plus 20 minus 0.2, 3.5 back, no side spin. So navigator, so power 1 ball adjustment. So you can see there's the 3.5 back. And the yellow ring I put to the rough. Like see how it's just a touch in the rough there, because this Goliath has the little bit bigger rings. So it also, see my grid line is lined up right with the hole. Okay, and the yellow a little bit in the rough there. And this is going to be 1.6. And that comes in real nice, good weight. So the first time I played it, I did the max plus 20, and I ended up pulling a little too much. So that's why I put the minus 0.2 on it, so I wasn't pulling as far. It came in real nice. Now, just to keep in mind, if you have a higher end Goliath, your rings are smaller. So your yellow ring might not be a little bit in the rough like this one was. What I had, I think on my other account, a Goliath 6 perhaps, and the rings are a little smaller, and I played yellow line right on the rough line, and that weight was good too. So just keep in mind of what Goliath you have and the ring size, because it might just depend on where that yellow line is coordinating with the rough. We'll go to hole number 5. Okay, so hole 5, I sank both times, but I played it differently on both. Let me check. I think the other actually accounts better. One sec. Okay, so for hole 5, there's 2 different ways to do it, in my opinion. The first one is to play a big topper and just try and get one down to the middle of the fairway on the right side. So the big topper shot will get you up the fairway, but the fairway's pretty narrow, right? So I had some extra berserkers on here. I had about 30 of them. So I just went after this. And you're going to get really close up to the green, and there's no reason, if you hit that shot, you know, there's no reason to talk about that. You're going to be in a little firefly or rapier endbringer or whatever you have. But if you do what I did here, I'm just going to go through this because where I ended up here probably will be close to where you would play a big topper if you try and get a big topper rolling down the fairway there. So you can see I hit great right here. And with these lower level drivers, you know, great right's not usually going to be good, but I did kick out here. So I would say I would probably be a little further back. So what I did on this one, you see it was a little uphill there, so I played the next shot at -5. So if you're back further into a thorn, you know, just keep in mind that it's a touch uphill, this second shot. So I played this second one here. I had a firefly, and you'll see that I was right in the max. So if you're further away from where I was now, you're going to be into the short iron. So what I did was, you know, firefly, I did -5 because the uphill, and just remember to do the power 5 ball with the wind arrow. So the wind arrow was on a, you know, a little, you can see here, a little pointing up, which will change it a bit. But I just played basically the no spin shot. But I think this will be close to where a big topper would be if you were able to hit the fairway and roll it all the way down. So it's worth taking a crack here. That you can just see this shot's pretty simple too. You can also see how close I am to the green by hitting the rough, that I would have been, you know, close to being on the green if I hadn't done that. So that's a good look at hole number 5. Okay, so for hole 6, what I'm doing is extra mile and horizon. Now, if you have a low level horizon, you're maybe want to use the big dog, but I would write down the spins that I'm using for my second shot, because the big dog's not going to have any ball guide. The other thing to do is what I did on my other account was, because I had a bad horizon, was that I used a power 4 ball. So if you have power 4 or like a 225, that's a good ball here. So what I'm doing here is I'm just playing extra mile, and I played Kingmaker here because on your second shot you might want the side spin. Okay, and all I'm doing is max, so I just put the max number in with the arrow. Okay, and I adjusted that. So it's a little amount of rings, 1.5, and then I just made sure I was straight here, pushed back into max. And you don't want to play too much overpower. See, I just played a little bit because a great left and right can go bad on you here. So it's more important to make sure you're in the fairway. And if you got the lower level clubs, like I said, just get a power 4 or 5 ball out. But I'm going to show you a good second shot and why I'm using the horizon. You can't use a sniper here. You don't quite have the distance unless you're blasting it down. Now I came really close on both accounts of hitting this. My other account, I only had a horizon 3, and I think this one's a 5. And I could get away, barely get away. Yeah, this one's a 5. And see, I can barely get away with a Kingmaker here. I'm into the max, so you can see a sniper's not going to get you down there. But the reason is there's another good rough bump on this hole. Now look at this. It looks really, it's a little glitchy there. And you'll see me sort of moving around trying to find a good spot. So this is where it would have been a lot nicer because I'm pushing into overpower and stuff. On my next account, I used a power 4 ball, and I was comfortably moving that around and got a better look at the ball guide. But I'm just going to show you here. On the second one, I'm playing this shot max plus 15, and the weight looks good. So I like the max plus 15. Now it's just a matter of getting the right landing spot. But came real close on both accounts with this shot. And you can see it really slows down here nice and comes in. And so that's just, now it's just a matter of getting the line the line down, but the weight looks good. I like the adjustment, but I would recommend, even with a better horizon, getting a power 4 ball in at least, and you know, you'll just have a better look at the second shot. Okay, so hole 7, I didn't sink on either, but I got closer on the second one. This was the first attempt at it. You might want to, like, if you look at Tommy's videos or stuff like that, he's using, I believe, a backbone. I think the 4 down is right. Now it's just a matter of getting the spin down. So I played 2 left here, but I think maybe 1.5 might be better. And all it is here is, you'll see I'm trying to line up that ball guide with the hole, which means I had to come further out left. You can see me sort of messing around. There's 1. So what did I do? I did 4 maybe and 1 here. So you can see me trying to line up that ball guide, you know, at the hole. And I'm playing this one, let's see here, mid plus 10. So this comes in okay. See, pretty close, right? So it seems it's coming in a touch hot, so I might change that to like 4 and a click back. The one, I think I'm going to change it to 4 and a click back and 1.5 left, and I'm going to try that from that same sort of landing spot. Let's just take a quick peek again, and I want to concentrate on the second bounce. See, I'm not looking at my landing area, I'm just looking at my second bounce in the ball guide. And I think it's important that the second bounce is somewhere around the fringe line. So you can see I pull it back eventually here. So see there, that's second bounce is on the fringe. And then I think it's that tip of the ball guide, that last part of the ball guide is going to be lined up. And it's just a matter of finding what square to land on. So we'll take another peek at where I end up here. So you see where I am there? I'm a little ahead of that fringe. I think that needs to be pulled back. Yeah, there. Okay, so no, I like that. Maybe even pulled back a titch more than that, right on that first fringe line. You know, and then we'll just find the landing area from there. So that's a work in progress, but if that helps you, and maybe you can zone it in from there. But it's getting close though. Okay, so for hole 8, I'm going to show you 2 shots. I played one with a berserker, and one on my other account I don't have any power 5, so I just was playing down the middle. This is the one I had a berserker on. So just an extra mile 5. You're going to get up close to the green if you can get through. Now the mistake I made here is, you'll see I played 3 topspin. So I would change that now, or 3 right spin, I should say, and I would change that to 1 right spin. So max topspin, and I think I would change it to 1 right. And you can see I'm just trying to line it up down the line there. So what happens here? So this is going to take all the power, and if you feel comfortable with this shot, don't worry if you go into the rough or whatever if you like this shot, because you're going to be able to reach the green no matter where if you land in the bunker or wherever you are. So you can see I hit a little bit of great right there, and I'm on there. So I would take the 3 right spin off and make it only 1 right. And even with the great right, I would have been in the fairway. Even with that shot being where it was, I had a pretty good look at my second shot, you know, to drain it even with the rough iron. So I'll show you from my other account playing the simple way. Okay, so what I did here is, you can see I didn't have berserkers on this account. And I know, so I was looking here to see how far roughly I thought I would get down. And I'm glad that I changed my mind. I was going to hit an extra mile and hit it down with a katana. Now the problem with that is I'm going to be in a long iron. So I said, screw it. I changed. I went to the big topper to try and get it further down. And you'll see here that I played, I believe, a little overpower. I didn't bring it back and adjust. I just aimed straight down the fairway. And again, if you go wrong, like if you end up hitting a great left or right and it ends up, you know, in the rough, you're still going to have a crack at the hole. But I think the best way, you can see a little OP here, and the best way to get dialed into a second shot here is to get into that short iron range, because I just feel way like money with the short irons as opposed to the long irons. So you can see I drove it here 360. My opponent played an extra mile and hit it right off the end of that first pad, and he got to about 350. So, and there is a difference. If I was at 350, I wouldn't have been able to play this second shot, and I'll show you that I'm right in the max. right in the max distance of the thorn. So you can see there's right in, basically in the max, right? So, you know, to be able to play the proper spin, I don't want to be playing topspin with these shots. I like to always play 3 backspin with these short irons. So you can see I went right at it here. And this, we'll be able to dial this in. I'll sink this shot more times than I'll miss with these short irons. So you can see I'm lined up right at it. I did a touch of right spin to offset the wind. I was running low on time, and I believe I pulled a little too much here. So let's see how much I pulled. So I pulled, it was at least 1.5 there, and I think I was supposed to do 1.3, and we'll take a look in a sec. And that's what happened when I pulled a little too much. So if I had the thorn 4, no elevation, 2.6 with the arrow that way-ish, see it was 1.4, right? And I pulled it at least 1.5. So that little extra pull made me go a touch to the right. But that's a good option there. The berserker shot's a good option. I don't mind that going because you'll be right into a firefly or whatever your wedge is. But this shot's a good shot too. It's just a little OP with a big topper. Try and get it down there so you'll be into short iron range. And let's go to hole number 9. Okay, so for hole 9, I would take a QB. Shouldn't really matter too much on what level QB. And I'm playing with a katana. Now it's important not to get too far right here. So, because you'll see, I think it's this one that I come pretty close to this right edge. So I would say even half the blue in the rough, that's red to rough. And all I'm doing is I'm adjusting max with arrow, which would have been about 1-to-1 on this club, and max everything right. Max curl, max right spin, max top spin. And you'll see here that I come pretty close to the rough's edge, right? So I would bring that out just a little bit. It doesn't need to be that extreme, right? But just if you should use a QB here. You don't want to be using too much topspin because it rolls down to the left. And then this second shot is going to be sinkable. So it's just a matter of the spin, I think. And we're going to have to fool around with the spin to get it in, but the look is real good. So this second shot I'm playing max plus 20, which looks right. So on both my accounts, the adjustment looked right. You'll see where I line it up, and I seem to bounce right where I was aiming. Even though I'm not in the max, was playing max plus 20. So I'm playing here all the right spin with one top and going right at the hole. So whatever max plus 20 is probably, I think it was about 2.8, something like that. Yeah. And playing this rough bump here. And this is going to be real sinkable too by the end. This shot I'm pretty sure is going to be great left and right proof. So see there, I came a little left of the hole. So even with all the right spin and one top, I came a little bit on the left side. So maybe, I don't know, we got to aim on the edge or whatever there. But that's a good look at it, and then you can adjust from what you saw from me. So I hope you all enjoy this walkthrough, and we'll talk to you next time.